So when you're ready, go ahead, find a nice comfortable position on your back. You can actually start in any position that feels right. So you can always come onto the back, find a supine position. If you rather start seated, you can go there, child's pose on the side, on the belly, whatever feels right. But wherever you're at, see if you can really start to soften. If you're on your back, maybe wiggle the shoulder blades up underneath you. Start to relax through the face, through the jaw. And allow the arms, the fingers, the legs, the toes to get nice and relaxed, nice and soft. And just allow the muscles to relax here, giving the body space to just be. To find some stillness before we venture into some movement. And then always an option to connect with the breath. So maybe start to find that nice rise and fall of the chest of the belly. Just noticing, not trying to judge it or change it, just noticing where the breath is at. And then option for box breathing. So what we'll do is we will inhale for a 4 count, hold the breath for 4, and then exhale for 4, hold the breath again for 4. And you can do this breath technique laying down, seated, child's pose, whatever feels best. And I'll talk you through 4 rounds, and then I'll give you space to maybe lengthen it or do it on your own for a couple rounds. And as always, if it doesn't feel right, no need to do the technique. You can always, just be with the breath. But, make sure to breathe here. If the retaining, if holding the breath is too much tonight, no worries. You can always just come back to your rhythm, your pace. But we'll take a couple cleansing breaths to start. So go ahead, take a deep inhale in through the nose. Start to fill the belly, fill the chest. Find the body expanding. And then slow open mouth exhale. Allow the body to soften. Maybe one more deep inhale in through the nose. Send breath to every inch of the body. Fill up. Big open mouth exhale. Soften. Let it go. And then inhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue on your own. If you would like. Option for one more round on your own, or maybe finish the round that you are on. And then whenever you are done, no rush, take your time. You can take a cleansing breath on your own. Maybe inhaling through the nose and then taking it out through the mouth. And then just allowing the breath to come back to your rhythm, your pace. Maybe it's in and out through the nose. But just taking some time here to reflect. Maybe seeing how you feel. Maybe you feel a little heated. Maybe you feel nice and relaxed, just noticing. Try not to hold on to it. And then option 2, maybe set a focal point or an intention for your practice. It can always be the breath. You're just coming back to the breath throughout class, that rise and fall of the chest of the belly. Or maybe you find a word, a phrase that feels right tonight. If nothing comes to mind, kind of offer up this theme of appreciation or maybe gratitude. Just being aware of everything that's maybe happening inward, everything that's happening within the cells of your body, your organs, the muscles, the bones, everything to have you be right here in this moment. Everything that's working for you to be in this moment. Sometimes we don't see what's happening inward. So maybe tonight cultivate appreciation and gratitude for everything that is happening to help you be here. To maybe find stillness or to maybe find movement throughout the body. So if you have an intention or a focal point, feel free to set it now. You can even place it at the third eye, the space between your eyebrows. And then take a deep inhale in through the nose. Fill up with your intention. Maybe fill up with appreciation for your body. And then big open mouth exhale, share it off. And then let the breath come back to your rhythm, your pace. Always an option for your Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Inhaling through the nose, sealing your lips. And then exhaling back out through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of the throat. Making the breath audible so you can listen to the breath, letting the breath anchor you here, but also really slowing the breath down. Slowing the breath down helps bring the nervous system into parasympathetic tone, to bring the body into rest and digest. So at any point on your mat, off your mat, if you feel stressed, if you feel a little heated inward, see if you can slow the breath down to help, calm the body. And then feel free to stay as long as you want, but when you're ready, slowly start to reawaken wherever you're at. Maybe find some movements, wiggle the fingers, the toes. You can roll the ankles, the wrists. Maybe let the head rock heavy side to side. And then if you're not on your back, feel free to join us on your spine, and you can start to find a nice full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, send the legs long, take some wiggles, open and close the mouth. And then you can stay here or start to bend the legs. Feet can stay on the ground, or maybe start to lift the feet. Feel free to hang out, or it might feel good to find some movement. Kind of swaying the knees side to side, rolling onto the low back. And just being aware of what's happening in the face, the jaw, the shoulders. And then you can stay here, or option for a wind moving pose. Extend the left leg long on your mat, let it rest there. Start to draw the right knee in. And just, start to sway the knee side to side. You can roll the ankle, maybe point flex the toes. Just checking in, seeing how the right hip feels, even the right foot. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Try to soften the jaw. And then your choice, you can stay here or maybe start to, bringing awareness to the core, your core muscles, your belly. And you can start to maybe activate them and turning them on. So see if you can draw the belly in, pressing your low back towards the ground. You can even start to flex the left toes and maybe start to lift the left heel off the mat. So making sure you're not arching the low back, really drawing the navel in. Finding that, shortening of the core muscles, nice strong in the belly. And then lastly, stay here or maybe explore lifting the head, sending the forehead towards the knee. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, still drawing the right leg in. Maybe one more breath. Listen to what you need though. And then when you're ready, slowly release, draw the left leg in. If you need to, bring the head back to the ground. Full wind moving pose, pull both knees into the chest, relax the jaw. And then the left side, extend the the right leg long, draw the left knee in, and just start to explore the left side. You can sway the knee side to side, maybe roll the ankle, point and flex the toes. Relaxing the jaw, the shoulders. And then your choice, stay here, explore more movement, or maybe starting to, bring awareness to your core. So start to draw the belly in, pressing your low back towards the ground. Flex the right toes towards your face. That may give you a little more space to draw the low back down. Hang out here, maybe float your right foot off the ground. Making sure the low back is not arching, drawing the belly in. And then feel free to stay or maybe lift the head towards the knee. Keep the shoulders relaxed and then make sure to breathe. A lot is happening here, so adjust. Don't be afraid to come back to the ground. Find support when needed. Beautiful work. And then when you're ready, your right knee meets the left. Pull it back in. Head comes back to the ground. Release. Open and close the mouth. And then coming back to our full body stretch. Extend the legs long. Reach the arms up overhead. Wiggle it out. Beautiful work. And then we're going to come into a seated position, so you can kind of drop the knees back in, roll to one side, start to press yourself up. Feel free to grab a pillow, blankets, maybe to sit on, but go ahead, cross the legs. And then you can roll the shoulders up and down, maybe start to roll the head and the neck. And we're going to play with eagle pose a little bit tonight, Garudasana, but kind of from a seated position, and kind of just explore what's happening. So we'll start with eagle arms, Garudasana. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then exhale, right arm underneath the left. You can cross the elbows and just maybe give yourself a hug, or right hand can kind of grab for the left forearm, maybe the left wrist. But see if you can keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, and then gently draw the elbows forward. So you should feel your scapulas, your shoulder blades drawing away from one another, creating space between them and the upper back. And then we'll take some cat-cow here. Go as far as you need it. So when you're ready, take an inhale, gently lift the gaze, maybe the arms. And then as you exhale, cat, round the spine. Elbows can pull in, maybe chin to the chest. 2 more. Inhale, lift up, little back bend, cow. Exhale, cat, pull the elbows in, round the spine. And last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, round, and then you can hold here, chin come towards the chest, draw the heart to the wall behind you, and then feel free to explore the neck. We find some half circles, go to the right and then to the left. You can always hold wherever it feels best, but see if you can really draw your heart to the wall behind you, breathing into the back body, especially the mid to upper back. One more round of breath. And then slowly unwind, reach the arms up overhead. And then when you're ready, release, arms come off to the side. Good, shake it out. Roll the shoulders, maybe roll the head of the neck. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, left arm goes under the right. You can cross the elbows and reach for opposite shoulders. Or maybe right, left arm kind of grabs for the right forearm, the right wrist. or wherever you're at, draw the elbows away. Keep the elbows in line with the shoulders. Breathe into the upper back. And then we'll flow a couple times with cat-cow. As you inhale, gently lift the heart, gaze up. And then as you exhale, round the spine, elbows can draw in, chin to the chest. Inhale, unwind, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, cat, pull the elbows in. Get one more big inhale. Exhale, pull the elbows in, round the spine, chin to the chest. And then holding here, breathing into the upper back, draw your heart to the wall behind you, chin to the chest, or maybe find those half circles, go to the left, to the right. Feel free to hold wherever it feels best. One more round of breath, awesome work. And then slowly, chin comes back to center. Inhale, unwind, reach the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, release, arms off to the side. Awesome job. Go ahead, extend the legs out, kind of shake them out. Roll the shoulders, let it go. And then we'll find seated separate leg stretch. So draw the right foot in to the inner left thigh, kind of like a seated tree pose. And then you can turn your body over the left leg, or the extended leg, whatever leg is extended for you. And then take an inhale, lengthen, lift up out of the low back. And then as you exhale, hinge forward. Start to draw your heart to the top of the left foot. Keep a bend in the left leg. And then just think about kind of driving the left hip straight back. Shoulders soft away from the ears. Relax the jaw. And then take one more big inhale, reach the heart forward. Gently fold as you exhale. And then your choice, you can stay here, or option for the side body stretch. So for the side body stretch, left arm comes to the inner thigh. Gently use the elbow to the inner thigh, press the two together. And then right arm can circle up overhead. So keep the right hip rooting down, try not to lift up, and then reach up and then over with the right arm. Keep the belly in so you're not arching the low back. Start to lift the heart, maybe send the gaze up. You can always explore maybe left ear towards the left shoulder, breathing into the right side of the neck. But if it's too much, keep the head lifted. Do what feels right here. And then take a big inhale. Reach up and over as you exhale. And then we're just going to take this into a little back bend, gate pose. So right hand will circle behind you, kind of to the low back area. Your right hand to the ground, left arm circles down and then high. Press up to the right shin. Lift the hips, reach the left arm back. Maybe gaze comes up. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release, come back down. Awesome job. Other side, seated separate leg stretch. Extend the right leg, left foot can come into the inner thigh. As best as you can, turn your torso over the right leg. Take a big inhale, lengthen, grow tall. And then as you exhale, hinge. So start to reach your heart towards the top of the right foot. Bend the right leg as much as you need it. And then kind of think about drawing the right hip straight back. Shoulders away from the ears. Find a spot that feels good, where you feel kind of relaxed, but still lengthening the back of the right leg. Last 2 rounds of breath here. Take an inhale, reach your heart towards the top of the right foot. Gently fold as you exhale. And then your choice. Option is stay here, or left side body stretch. Right elbow can come to the inner thigh. Gently press the two together, and then left arm can sweep up and overhead. So keep the left hip rooted. Try to lift up out of the hip. And then keep the belly pulling in. Try not to arch the low back. Maybe explore lifting the heart and even lowering the right ear towards the right shoulder. Find a spot that feels good. 2 more rounds of breath here. Kind of breathe the space between the left side ribs. And take one more big inhale. Reach up and over as you exhale. And then option for the back bend, gate pose. So coming back up, Left hand comes behind you, kind of towards the tailbone. Start to press into the left hand, lifting up onto the left shin. Right arm can circle up overhead, driving the hips forward, lift the heart. Beautiful, big inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly coming back down. Great job. Release, shake the legs out. And then we'll take a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Bend the legs as much as you need it. Take an inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, start to hinge at the hips, folding over the legs. Hands can walk forward, maybe towards the shins, the ankles, the heels. But like always, try to reach the heart towards the tops of the feet, to lengthening the low back. And then as you exhale, gently folding, allowing the forehead to draw towards maybe the legs. Don't be afraid to find a spot that feels good. Bend the legs as much as you need it. Maybe coming back to the breath. Maybe coming back to the intention of finding appreciation for everything that's happening inward. The things that we don't see, that's kind of happening behind the scenes to help us be in this position. Sometimes we take those things for granted. Take a big inhale, find a little more length. Gently fold as you exhale. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back up. Awesome job. Shake out the legs, maybe even point the toes forward. And then we'll meet in tabletop position, coming onto all fours. Feel free to place a blanket underneath the knees for some support. But once you're in tabletop, we'll take about 5 rounds of breath here. Just explore some movement. Maybe sway the hips side to side, see how that feels in the outer hips. You can even start to make some circles with the hips, go all the way down and all the way to the side. Maybe option 4, cat-cow. As you inhale to cow pose, lower the belly, lift the heart, find a little back bend. And then as you exhale, cat, round the spine, pull the belly in, press the mat away. So maybe you move with the breath. Inhale to cow, lower the belly. Exhale to cat, round the spine. Or maybe you hold. But feel free to find 3 more rounds of breath here. You can keep the eyes closed, really keeping the awareness inward, listening to what the body's needing. Try not to force it. And then you can stick with the movement or the stillness, or option 4, puppy dog pose, heart melting pose. So hips will stay on top of the knees, starting to open up the chest, the shoulders a little bit. You can walk the hands forward, and then allow the forehead to slowly lower down to the earth. Don't worry if the forehead is nowhere near the ground. Find a spot that feels good for your shoulders, your chest. You can even start to lift up onto the fingertips, lifting the wrists off the ground. And this can be intense, so be kind to your shoulders, your chest here. 2 more rounds of breath. One more big inhale, fill up. Slowly exhale, let it go. Good. And then when you're ready, coming back up, back into tabletop. And check out the hands. Find, some activeness through the fingertips. Grip the fingers down. Press the ground away so you're not kind of placing the weight into the wrist. Kind of shift it up to the shoulders and the belly. And then extend the right leg long. Toes can come to the ground. Drive the right heel away. Kind of find a calf stretch. And then you can stay here. It might feel good to kind of shift forward and back. Breathe into the toes, the arch of the foot. Good. And then coming back forward, shoulders over the wrists. Press the top of the left foot down. Maybe start to float the right toes. Just holding here for a breath or 2. Checking in with the low back. See if you're arching the low back. Zipper the belly in. Find, strength and length in the low back. And then we're going to find kind of some movement here to prepare us to step the right leg through. So take an inhale, maybe lift through the right heel. As you exhale, right knee towards the nose. Think of your cat back around the spine. Inhale, extend the right leg, maybe lift through the right heel. Exhale, knee to the nose, find space, round the spine. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to the nose. As best as you can, step your right foot through. You can start to lift the right hand. Maybe use that space to slide the right foot forward. Good. And then hands can frame up the right foot. Maybe hands come to blocks. If you have a chair, you can always place your hands on the seat of the chair. We're going to make our way into Anjaneyasana, kneeling lunge. Top of the left foot presses down. Right hip's going to draw straight back. Feel free to stay here or maybe lift up. Hands can come to the hips. So I like to take this posture a little more active than kind of just allowing the hips to come forward. So see if you can just, gently squeeze the left glutes, really pressing the left hip forward. And then option to stay if you want to work the arms. Anytime you reach the arms up overhead, the shoulders are going to work. So sometimes I like to just keep the hands at heart, but find the variation that feels best for you. But focusing here on finding length, maybe in the left quad, the left psoas, the hip flexor muscle that's right in front of the left hip. So gently squeeze the left glute, draw the right hip back. One more round of breath. Beautiful work. And then whenever you're ready, hands come back down to the ground, maybe to your blocks or your chair, and then start to send the hips back, straightening through the right leg, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. You can slide the right heel forward, maybe flex the right toes. And two, if you don't have blocks or a chair, bend the right leg as much as you need to so you can, support the legs and keeping your hands on the ground. And then really draw the right hip straight back. We're not going to be here too long, just fighting a little more love for the hamstring. But just like you did before, take an inhale, reach the heart forward, and then gently fold as you exhale. And then feel free to stay here. If you want to focus on a little more on the hip, maybe start to wave your right foot side to side. So kind of turn the toes to the right and then to the left. One more round of breath. Beautiful work. And then coming back to center, so bending back into the right leg, place the right foot back on the ground. And then we're going to find the twist. So left hand can stay on the ground, right thumb will come to the right hip crease. Start to draw the right hip straight back, press into the left hand, and then turn your chest to the right. So grounded twist. And two, if you would like to turn this a little more active or maybe just come off the back knee, you can always tuck the left toes and lift your left knee off the mat. If the left knee is lifted, really strong in the left leg, drive the left heel away, kind of lifting from the back inner thigh. And just a little twist here, turning the chest towards the right side, but really kind of hugging the right hip in and driving it straight back. For me, I feel a lot of length in the outer hip, kind of into the right glute. I have a lot of tightness there though, so you might not feel it. And let's take one more big inhale. As you exhale, slowly release, maybe come back down to the left knee. Right hand can come to the inside of the right foot, and we're going to come back into tabletop, maybe into child's pose. So your choice. Tabletop, if child's pose is calling your name, knees can go wide, send the hips back. Forehead can rest on the ground or maybe a block, your fists, but reset here. Take a couple rounds of breath to check in, to see what you're holding on to. And then maybe coming back to the breath, really feeling the inhales, feeling the back body rise, expand as you fill up. And then maybe giving the mind permission to let go as you exhale. 2 more rounds of breath. And then feel free to stay in child's pose, balasana, for as long as you want. But when you're ready, coming back up into tabletop. And then before we do the other side, let's stretch out the wrists. So from tabletop, you can start to turn your fingertips to the outside edges of the mat and just kind of sway side to side here. Kind of see how that feels. And then you can hang out here or maybe explore a little more rotation. Point the fingertips towards your knees. And same thing, kind of sway side to side. If you have kind of the flexibility and it feels good, it might feel nice to kind of send the hips back. Kind of feel this length in the bottom of the forearms or the back side of the forearms, the back side of the wrists. But do you. Make sure to honor where the wrists are at tonight. And then when you're ready, slowly release, roll the wrists, go one way, go the other, let it go. And then we're going to do the opposite. So finding length in the top side of the wrist and the forearm. So first variation, kind of find this reverse prayer grip. So palms, tops of the palms will touch. Kind of breathing here, see how that feels. Or back from tabletop position, fingertips will point to the inside, palms face up. And making sure you're not placing the weight into the wrist, right? So kind of try to lift up, see how that feels. Hang out, or maybe point the fingertips towards the toes. And sometimes this feels good to even do one side at a time. And then if you have, you're on the forearms, the wrists here, same thing, see if you can kind of lean back. So you don't want to be dumping the weight into the wrist. We're trying to lift up and back to kind of lengthen the top side. 2 more rounds of breath, making sure to adjust. And then whenever you're ready, slowly release, roll the wrists out, get some blood flow back through. Awesome job. And then coming back into tabletop. So same thing on the left side. Squeeze the fingertips into the ground. And then extend the left leg long, find a calf stretch. Toes can stay on the ground, drive the left heel away. And then feel free to stay. You can always find movement here, shift forward and back. And then coming back forward, shoulders on top of the wrists. Press the top of the right foot down and then maybe explore lifting the left toes. And then right away, checking in with the low back, see if you're arching. Zipper the belly in, find strength from the core to support the low back. And then as you inhale, maybe lift the left heel. Exhale, left knee to the nose, cat back, press the ground away. So trying to find space here. Inhale, extend the left leg, maybe lift through the heel. Exhale, left knee to the nose, pull it in. One more big inhale, extend. And then as you exhale, knee to the nose, left foot's going to step through to your left thumb. Maybe lift the left hand, slowly slide the left foot forward. Left knee is behind the toes. Feel free to grab your blocks here. And then right away, see if you can draw the left hip straight back. So the left hip drawing back, maybe find some love in the left hip. And you can always stay with your hands on the ground, the blocks, or on your chair. If it feels right tonight, maybe hands to the hips starting to lift up. So if you are lifted, left hip's still going to draw back, but see if you can start to squeeze the right glute. So try not to overgrip the glute muscle. Just a little squeeze here, drawing the right hip forward. Finding some length in the front of the right leg. And then your choice, if you want to work the shoulders, maybe reach the arms up overhead, but still keep the belly in. Left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. Soften the jaw, the shoulders. And then take a big inhale. Exhale, hands back down to the ground, to the blocks. Half splits and the left hip back or hips back, straightening through the left leg. Slide the left heel forward so you can flex the toes. You want the hips on top of the back knee. And then draw the left hip straight back. Bend into the left knee as much as you need it. And crown of the head reaches forward, lengthening out of the low back. Shoulders away from the ears. Take a big inhale. Stay or gently fold as you exhale. Beautiful. And then your choice, stay here, or maybe play with the left hip. So working on rotation, you can kind of wave your left foot to the left and then to the right, kind of going side to side. And this can be intense. So only go as far, or feel free to skip. One more round of breath. Relax the shoulders, the jaw. Good. And then when you're ready, coming back into lunge, place the right foot on the ground, the left leg, bend the left knee. And then taking this into grounded twist. So right hand to the block or to the ground. Left thumb to your left hip crease. Start to press the left hip away. Right hand will press into the ground, turning your chest to the left. So keep the lunge in the left knee. Kind of draw the left hip straight back. And then you can always stay here, maybe explore kind of an active posture. Lift the right knee. Drive the right heel away, lifting from the back inner thigh. Gaze can stay down. Beautiful work. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly releasing, maybe come back to the right knee. And then your choice, tabletop or child's pose. You can bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot. Use that space to send the left leg back. And then for child's pose, knees go wide, hips back. Any variation here. If you would like to stretch out the triceps, you can bring the palms together like a prayer grip. Start to bend the arms, bring the thumbs to the back of your neck. And kind of press the back of the arms into the ground, breathe into the triceps, the back of the upper arms. If that doesn't feel right, find a variation that feels good. 2, 3 more rounds of breath. Feel free to take some time here to maybe check in, see if you're attaching yourself or holding on to anything, especially thoughts, comparisons, maybe expectations. And as best you can, see if you can let them go. Take a big inhale, fill up, feel the back, expand, rise. Slow, open mouth exhale, side off, let it all go. And then stay in child's pose as long as you want. When you're ready, you can come onto the forearms. And we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So lifting the hips, and then start to wiggle the legs long behind you. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Forearms can be parallel with one another. And then gently draw the elbows towards the ribs. Lift up through the crown of the head. So using the strength of the core muscles to lift up out of the low back, finding, length through the low back, through those vertebrae, instead of gravity pulling us down and finding compression. So that's why I'm always saying engaging the core. And then you can stay here or take an inhale. As you exhale, send the gaze to the left. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, send the gaze to the right. Okay, one more inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Breathe into the neck. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. And then inhale, come back to center. Lift up tall. And then when you're ready, slowly lower down. Coming into Cobra Pose. Set yourself up. Palms underneath the shoulders. Send the shoulder blades down the spine. Find space between the shoulders and the ears. And then press the tops of the feet down. Lift the knees. Inner thighs are drawing in and up. And then when you're ready, Bhujangasana, start to lift the chest. Making sure to breathe here, but still trying to draw the navel in. You don't have to go high here. So this variation is finding more strength in the spine and in the back body instead of more extension. So finding the balance between the two of lengthening and strengthening. One more big inhale, lift up. And then as you exhale, release. Left ear can go to the mat, gaze can go right. Arms can slide off to the side, palms face up, heels rock open. Maybe close the eyes, bringing the awareness back in. Maybe reconnecting with the breath here. And this is a great spot to really focus on sending the breath to the back body. So sending, breath to the back of the lungs, sending oxygen, nutrients to the back side, which is so important. Most times we just breathe into the front body. And then you can stay here, or option for one more belly down back bend, bringing the chin back to center, and then your choice, Sphinx pose, Cobra, or maybe a locust Salabhasana. So you can flip the palms face down off to the side, and then start to kind of wiggle the fingertips to the wall behind you, sending the shoulder blades down the spine. Feet press down, knees lift, and when you're ready, inhale, start to lift the chest. So palms can stay rooted, find support. If you want to work the triceps, the upper back, maybe float the hands and start to reach the fingertips to the wall behind you. Now this is a great place to hang out. I love the feet rooting down in this locust variation. Or you can even explore tonight maybe lifting the feet off the ground. So a little lift through the heels, but reaching, straight out, and then a little lift up. Making sure to breathe. One more big inhale. And then as you exhale, release, right ear to the mat, gaze goes left, palms flip up, heels open, soften the glutes, slow it down. You can even find movement here, start to kind of sway the hips side to side, maybe bend the legs, heels to the sky, and start to windshield wiper the legs side to side, whatever feels right. And then whenever you're ready, coming back to center, and then we're going to stretch up the shoulders. So some people call this twisted cross. So you're going to come into a cross position, kind of like a capital T position, okay? It's kind of hard to see on camera, but arms go straight off to the side, palms will be face down. And we'll do the right side first. I'll show it to you in a different couple ways, but start to bring your left palm underneath the left shoulder. Use the left hand to press the ground away, rolling to the right. You can take the left leg, bend it, and step it behind the right. Right ear will rest on the ground or pillow, making sure the head and the neck is relaxed. And then just breathing into the right shoulder, the right chest. And then a lot of variation. You can stay here. So kind of from a front view, I'm going to bend my legs so you can see this. I'm rolling to the right. Okay. And then a lot of variations. So you can hang out, enjoy. Maybe start to bend the left leg, and you can kind of grab for the left shin and kind of work the knee towards the chest. You can kind of flip this and find the left quad stretch. The left hand is going to kind of grab for the ankle, maybe the left foot. Left knee is going to point to the back of the mat, heel towards the glute, and start to draw the left hip forward. Kind of find the quad stretch like you would do standing kind of in gym class. Or if you want to play with the inner thigh and the left hamstring, you can kind of grab for the inner left thigh and start to extend the leg high to the sky. Maybe one day left hand grabs for the left foot. So 2-3 more rounds of breath here. Whatever feels right. Know that left foot can always stay grounded. Good. And then whenever you're ready, awesome job. Slowly release. Roll back onto the belly, come back to your capital T position, your cross, arms off to the side. So left side, left palm will be face down. Start to walk your right hand underneath the right shoulder. Press into the right hand and start to roll to the left. You can bend the right leg, step it behind you, and just allow the hips to kind of roll to the right side to the left side, as much as the left shoulder needs it. Making sure the left side of your face, your head is on the ground or a pillow. And now too, you can find any variation here. And also this posture doesn't feel great for everyone, so if that's you, you can always just come to a seat and take a chest expansion grip. Kind of interlace the fingers behind you, kind of take gravity, the weight of gravity on the ground out of it. But if you are taking the quad stretch, so grabbing for the right ankle heel, you might intensify a little bit by driving the right hip forward, kind of like we did in that Anjaneyasana, that kneeling lunge. 2-3 more rounds of breath. And then whenever you're ready, slowly release. Come back to center. From here, Crocodile Pose or Alligator Pose. I always mess it up which one it is, but cross the palms at the top of the mat. Let the forehead rest there. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Heels rock open, soften the glutes. And just give, time for the shoulders to kind of reset here, but also, give yourself space to check in. See if you're holding on to anything, or maybe right away just come right back to the breath. Let the breath help you reset. Go ahead, take one more big inhale, fill the belly. Feel the belly compressing into the ground as you send the breath to the backside. And then slow open mouth exhale, let it all go. And then hang out here, or one more time we're going to come up into a seat. So maybe come back to the forearms or the palms. Start to lift yourself back up. And we're going to give the inner thighs a little more love. So let's start with Vadakanasana, butterfly pose. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees can go wide. So the more the heels are towards you, the more the inner thigh, the more the heels are away. You might feel this more in the outer thigh. So feel free to adjust or even explore. You can kind of grab the feet here, maybe kind of interlace the fingers. Take an inhale, start to lift up, grow tall. And then as you exhale, come forward. So at first, try to keep the spine long, soften the shoulders, reach the crown of the head, the heart forward, big inhale. And then as you exhale, let the upper body start to get really heavy. The elbows are towards the inner thighs. You can gently draw the elbows to the thighs, gently pressing the knees, the legs towards the ground. And then your choice, you can stay here. I like to take Vadakanasana with a little more length in the spine. But if it feels good, you can kind of start to round, maybe bring the chin to the chest, breathe into the neck, the upper back. But take about 3 more rounds of breath here. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to lift up. And then go ahead, extend the legs long. Seated, wide-legged forward fold. And you can kind of grab for the inner thighs, kind of roll them up. So toes will point straight to the sky. And then you're just going to slowly come forward. So take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, walk the hands forward and maybe kind of sway side to side here. Don't have to, bring the forearms or the forehead to the ground. Just finding a spot where you can really breathe into the inner thighs. And we'll take about 5 rounds of breath here. So you can kind of keep the movement swaying side to side, or maybe you just find stillness, allowing gravity to do the work. But a little more activation in this posture. Inner thighs are going to roll up, trying to keep the toes pointed towards the sky. Bend the legs as much as you need it. And then see if you can come back to the breath here. Checking in, see where the mind is at. Take a deep inhale. If you need it, to let it all go as you exhale. Good, and then whenever you're ready, slowly coming back up. Awesome job. You can kind of bring the legs together, and then we're going to make our way onto our back. So we're going to explore eagle pose on the back, and then we're going to stretch out the legs. So actually, let's take eagle on the back first. So come all the way down. So the arms have been there before, so let's focus on the legs first. So you're going to take the right leg and cross it around the left. Okay, and then you can stay here, or maybe take the edge of the right foot, the outer edge, and kind of draw it to the left shin. Okay, so left foot can stay grounded, or I'll give you the option in a little bit to maybe float the legs. And then you can always explore wrapping the right toes around kind of the left calf, ankle. So find any variation that feels best there. And then back to your eagle arms. Right arm will come under the left. Maybe you kind of grab for left forearm or just grab for opposite shoulders. And then elbows in line with the shoulders. Gently press the elbows towards the sky, the ceiling. And then you can stay here or maybe explore lifting the legs. But if you lift the legs, belly pulls in, low back is going to press to the ground. And so usually this is kind of a balanced posture. You're just standing on the left leg here. So right foot can kind of press into the edge of the left shin. But we're going to explore this more supported, but we're still engaging the core, belly in, and then drawing the elbows to the sky, and then start to squeeze the arms and the legs together. Relax the jaw. One more big inhale. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Maybe a full body stretch, your knees to the chest. Let that side go. So eagle pose, Garudasana is great to kind of find compression in the body. Kind of squeeze it all together and then release it. So eagle on the other side. We'll start with the legs. Left leg will cross on top of the right. So know that the right foot can stay on the ground, or you can lift the right foot. And when you lift the right foot, maybe the edge of the left foot presses into the kind of the outside edge of the right leg, or you can wrap the toes around the right leg. And then the arms, the left arm will come underneath the right. Maybe you grab for left forearm or hand. Sorry, the right forearm, right hand, or maybe you grab for opposite shoulders. And then your choice, stay here, or you can float the legs. If you float the legs, press the left foot towards the right shin. Inner thighs are squeezing together, lower legs are squeezing together. And then check in with the low back. Draw the belly and press your low back to the ground. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Draw the elbows towards the sky and then squeeze the arms together. Relax the jaw. Make sure to breathe here. Eagle pose on the back. Garudasana. Beautiful work. And then take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, release. Beautiful work. Full body stretch, your knees to the chest. Wiggle it out. Awesome work. Good. Then lastly, let's stretch out the legs one last time. So figure four, left foot to the ground, cross the edge of the right foot to the top of the thigh, keep the right foot flex, draw the right knee away. Stay here or maybe float the left foot off the ground. Left foot can always come to a block, the wall, or you can explore interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh. But finding a spot that feels good, making sure the shoulders aren't creeping towards the ears, relax the jaw, and then keep a little flexion in the right foot, kind of drawing the toes towards the right knee, keeping the legs slightly active, so you're not placing pressure on the ankle or the knee joint, and then gently draw the right knee away. So finding a spot where you can breathe into the outer right hip. It might feel good to find stillness, hanging out, or maybe rocking side to side. We'll take about 3-4 more rounds of breath here. Feel free to close the eyes and come back to the breath. And then take one more big inhale. Stay for the exhale. Breathe into the right hip. Awesome job. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Same thing other side. Figure four. Right foot to the ground. Cross the edge of the left foot to the top of the thigh. Keep your left foot flexed. And then gently press the left knee away. Kind of see how this feels in the left hip, the left glute. Stay here, or you can float the right foot. Right foot can always come to a block. Or maybe interlace the fingers behind the thigh. But this side may feel different. My left side is definitely tighter with this rotation of the hip. So making sure to adjust, honoring what the left side needs right now. And then you can always come back to the breath, or maybe come back to your intention, bringing that back in. Maybe just, finding appreciation for everything that's happening for this moment to happen. Everything that's happening within the body for you to hold figure four. Check in with the face, the jaw. See where the shoulders are at. Take a big inhale. Breathe into the left hip as you exhale. Last 2 rounds of breath here. And then your choice, stay in figure 4 for as long as you want. When you're ready, slowly release, let it go. Maybe knees to the chest, rock side to side. Awesome work. And then maybe one more back bend, so bridge pose. As always, if you have a block, you can grab it here and take supported bridge, but feet will come about hip width distance, arms can come off to the side. And then when you're ready, start to lift the hips, Setu Bandha. Maybe slide that block underneath you, right to the low part of, or the flat part of your spine, your sacrum. Then arms off to the side, maybe flip the palms face up, so you can kind of wiggle the shoulders underneath you, really opening up through the front body. And if you're on that block, hang out, let gravity, let the block do the work. But if you're active, drive the heels down, gently lift the hips, inner thighs are going to squeeze in and kind of roll down. Gaze can be straight up. Try to keep, the back of the neck, the cervical spine nice and long here. And then if you are active, you can hold it for as long as you want. But know that you can release at any point. But if you're on that block, maybe hang out for 3 to 5 more rounds of breath. Stay here for as long as you need it. When you're ready, you can slowly release. And then your choice, Supta Vadakanasana, so butterfly pose on the back, or maybe constructive rest pose. So knees together, feet can go wide to the edges of the mat. Maybe one hand to heart, one hand to belly, or cactus the arms off to the side. But find a spot where you can slow it down. So back bends are heated postures. You might feel a little heated. The heart rate may be up. So take time to slow it back down. Starting to find those nice long inhales and exhales. Allowing the body to come back into the parasympathetic nervous system. Allowing the body and the mind to find relaxation, to find rest. And then feel free to stay, or we'll find our final twist. Start to bring the knees together, bring the feet together. You can even cross the right leg on top of the left, finding any gentle twist that feels right. Knees will fall to the left side, hips can slide to the right. You can always place a pillow, maybe a blanket, underneath the knee or the right shoulder. You can lift the left shoulder to make room for the right, but no need to force the knees or the right shoulder to the ground. And then gaze can be up, or maybe chin falls to the right. And taking time, checking in. If you need to, come back to the breath. Take an inhale, find some length. Gently twist as you exhale. 2 more rounds of breath. Awesome work. Whenever you are ready, slowly take it to the other side. Unwind, knees can come back to center. Find your twist. You can always cross the left leg on top of the right, but let the knees fall to the right side. Bump the hips to the left. Feel free to place support underneath you. Maybe draw the right shoulder blade to make room for the left, but no need to force the left shoulder to the ground. And then gaze can stay up, or maybe chin falls to the left. Just, finding space here to be with the breath. Giving the mind kind of Permission or freedom to not overanalyze, to not attach itself to anything, to just be here fully present in this moment. Not an easy thing to do. And if the mind is off thinking, no worries. Just being aware, take a deep inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then hang out on this side as long as you want. But when you're ready, coming back to center. And then start to close out your practice however it feels best. So maybe any variation of postures, happy baby, knees to chest, or you can stamp the feet onto the ceiling for legs at the wall. You can always grab for behind the thighs. But take about 5-8 rounds of breath to close out your physical practice however it feels best. If you are taking the inversion, just allowing gravity to send the blood, the oxygen, the fluid in the feet, the toes, kind of running it down the legs. Great posture to help with circulation. Maybe we let the head rock heavy side to side, giving the back of the head a nice massage. Open and close the mouth. But wherever you're at, one more time, find appreciation, gratitude for everything that's happening for you to be right here. Everything inward within the body, the muscles, the bones, the cells that are doing their job, the organs. Everything that we kind of forget about, that we may take for granted. So take a big inhale, fill up with gratitude for everything that's happening right now, inward and outward. And then open mouth, exhale, sigh it off. And then stay where you're at for as long as needed. When you're ready, maybe curl into a ball, grab for the shins, forehead can always work to the knees, give yourself a squeeze. And then when you're ready, Shavasana, corpse pose is there. Take up as much space as you like, let the arms and the legs go long. Toes can rock off to the side. Maybe draw the shoulder blades up underneath you. Palms can be face up to receive, to feel secure, supported, grounded. Maybe flip the palms face down. But allowing the body to feel the earth underneath you. Allowing the muscles to relax, to soften. Giving the body permission to find some well-deserved rest. And then taking that rest, carrying it up into the mind. Giving the mind permission to maybe just be here with the breath. Allowing the mind to let go of thoughts as they come in. And to just focus on that nice rise and fall of the chest, of the belly. Giving the mind a space to just be. But know if the mind wanders, if the body starts to wiggle, just being aware and then bringing it back without any judgment. Taking these final moments to find some well-deserved rest, both in the body and in the mind. You need to take time to check in. Relax the jaw, the shoulders, soften the fingertips, the glutes, the legs, the toes. And then allow the mind to come back to the breath. As you inhale, feel the body slowly rise. As you exhale, feel the body slowly softening. You need to bring the awareness back to the breath. Just acknowledging if the mind has wandered off. Being kind to yourself and bringing it back. And then feel free to stay here with the breath. Or maybe give the mind permission to do whatever it wants to do. But giving the mind space to be whatever it needs to be. And feel free to stay in your meditation and practice your Shavasana for as long as you want. But if you are ready, start to deepen the breath. Start to bring movement back in. Wiggle the fingers, the toes. Maybe roll the ankles, the wrists. Allow the head to rock heavy side to side. You take a nice full body stretch. Reach the arms up overhead, send the legs long. Take some wiggles. And then you can draw the knees to the chest. Feel free to take movement here. Or rock to your favorite side for fetal pose, using the bottom arm as a pillow. Taking time to maybe reflect, but also allowing yourself to step into these new opportunities you created for yourself tonight here on your mat. Maybe finding some space, some rebirth in the body and in the mind. And then whenever you're ready, you can press up to a seat, cross the ankles, sit on the shins. Maybe find movement, roll the shoulders up and down, roll the head of the neck. And one more time, bringing awareness to the spine, drawing the belly in, making the low back nice and strong and long. Soften the shoulders back, maybe flip the palms up. Add a little tuck of the chin, back of the neck is long, and then grow a little bit taller through the crown of the head. Just feeling this length in the spine. Allowing prana, your life force, the energy to flow through. An option to stay here or hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, sealing in our practice. One more time, finding appreciation, gratitude for everything that just happened tonight. No matter how it looked, you're here. Take a deep inhale, fill up with gratitude for yourself, Open mouth, exhale, share it off. Send it to someone who may need it. And I thank you all for being here, for sharing your practice. I thank yoga for bringing us together. And from my heart to yours with so much gratitude, I bow. Thank you, thank you.